The small South American country continues to suffer from a devastating earthquake, leaving many villages in ruins. 17 News reporter Lori Lizarraga searches for a glimmer of hope for the people of Ecuador among the chaos left behind.
We lost between family and friends 8 people. The main person we lost in our family was my mother-in-law.
She was in the hospital for 2 days, but it was even more traumatizing because we would see how other people were coming in without limbs. And to see my mother there in the midst of all this, surrounded, it was too much to bear.
She died from aneurysm 3 days later.
A week after the earthquake, the death toll had risen to more than 600 and was still climbing.
I think we had some 1,500 patients, 1,500 people getting attended by the medicals, doctors.
I did what I could to help, raising money and buying basic supplies, but it felt like it was running up an impossibly steep hill. I mean, it was heartbreaking, working so hard to affect so little change. In small coastal towns near the epicenter, the destruction was almost absolute.
Lo que veíamos nosotros en la calle, ¿no?
We saw in the streets people were begging for food and water, people sleeping in the streets, and children who were scared because there were people who wanted to do damage. It was sad.
Due to the chaos and disorganization, the true death toll remains uncertain.
The official number is some 673, I think it is. Even people from the government say that the official number isn't the correct one. There should be much more. Yeah, much more.
The next morning, we drove around to survey the damage, and it was truly a disaster, like something out of a movie.
With so much destruction, a reported 25,000 people were left homeless.
I didn't see anything. I didn't know if my house was still standing. When I arrived home, my whole family, my kids, my grandkids came out crying, telling me that the entire house had been destroyed. Everything was gone. I thought, where are we going to sleep? Where will we sleep tonight?
Maria Zambrano, her daughter Nellie, and their families were permitted to live in a school nearby.
At the school, each family stayed in a classroom. There were 7 in our family, 8 or more in others.
15 families in all slept on the floors of classrooms for 2 months.
We didn't have anywhere else to go.
For so many families like the Zambranos, whose loved ones are lost and whose homes remain in rubble, the earthquake has changed their lives forever.
The suffering that we endured, no one could ever imagine that this could happen, but it did.
I'll never forget that night. My family was all in tears. I had to stay calm and tell them, let's sit here and wait.